Hey there, More Than Metaphors family. It's Dr. Kecia here, and I am so excited to be back with you. This is not going to be a long episode at all. It's more of a reintroduction, if you will. So let's go ahead and get started. When I launched the podcast back in 2021, and y'all remember 2021, we made it through that. Like you and so many others, I was managing my own life. Life was lifing for me as well during 2021. And I dropped the last episode of More Than Metaphors on October 2021. There were so many, we'll call them transformative experiences that happened during that time from 2021 on up to most recently. And I needed to take some time to take care of myself, to take care of my family, and to take care of business. When I started the podcast back in 2021, I had this theme in my head around transformative learning. And don't worry, I've added the lost episode, which will tell you all about transformative learning. So you can check that out there. The questions that I had for the remarkable guests we had season 1 really looked at what were some of the life-changing or career-changing experiences you had? What were some of the critical questions they asked themselves? Who did they turn to when they were trying to figure things out? And one of the most important questions I had was, how do they move once they've had those transformative or those life-changing experiences? What did they do after? That was really the focus of season 1. And during my time away, while I was focused on my healing and the healing of my family, I took the time to consider and ingest everything that I was learning, unlearning, relearning. And I'm going to keep it candid with y'all. Some of these life lessons I've had to learn, they've been tough. Ooh, child. Ooh, my God. Some of them have been so challenging that I wasn't sure how or even if I was going to come back from them. And wouldn't you know it, just as I was questioning whether I could come back from some of the setbacks that I had, I was presented with an opportunity to do a group coaching session to a remarkable group of Black women here in the San Diego area on any topic I wanted. So y'all know, I'm like, okay, well, how do we do this? As I was trying to figure out what I could speak to this group of women about, especially given the state of mind I was in, I realized I actually had my topic. And was based on my own experience and my own big question. And that question was, how do we come back? How do we operationalize? What is the pragmatic way people come back from life setbacks, whatever they may be? And as any halfway decent qualitative researcher would do, I began reviewing the literature, doing my research to get a sense of what does it mean to come back? Especially as a Black woman, given everything that's going on in the world. Given everything that I read, I decided that I wanted to create for myself my very own sister circle, a virtual sister circle, with some of the most talented Black women who've had pretty significant setbacks and public ones. And as I learned more about their stories, and more than just the story behind the setbacks, but hearing them come back and talk about what success means to them now, how they are navigating the world now after the setbacks, and also changing their frame of mind of what happened to them to what happened for them. And here are the women that I focused on in my virtual sister circle.
Think about failure, for me anyway, I've been through a lot. My father served 22 years in prison. I grew up in a single parent household. Car got repoed, lost my business, almost lost my mind, had enough bad relationships that I can't even count, right? But I needed all those things to happen for me so that I can realize what was on the other side. And what was on the other side was building a multi-million-dollar business, creating Slutty Vegan when I had no idea what I was doing as an entrepreneur, becoming a wife and becoming a mother when a doctor told me that I couldn't even have kids. So when we think about failure, it really is just re-engineering a negative mindset. And that's why I wrote the book. I wanted people to know that, okay, it's inevitable. Life is going to happen, but it's what you do with what happens in life is what makes the difference. And I know that it's going to bless a lot of people.
This is a theme that we've been hearing today over and over again. This is a theme that came out in 1963 when A. Philip Randolph, a trade unionist, came forth to call for a march on Washington, asking for an end to Jim Crow laws, equal access to public education, and civil rights legislation that would change the face of a nation. Today we come before you, walking on the road to jobs, the road to peace, the road to justice, paved with the blood, the sweat, the tears of labor movement people from around the nation. And today, I come to you as a young person, as a young woman, as a young black woman, to ask you to use us, use the young people of the United States of America to pave a road that will last forever. Pave a road that will let us become the foot soldiers. Let us not have to do this again for our children. We ask you to let us come forth with you, not behind you, not in front of you, but together on that road to jobs, justice, and peace.
4 years, I've seen more Georgians face pain, face challenges. When I didn't win the governor's race, not getting the job didn't exempt me from the work, and so I didn't quit. I got back to work, paid off the medical debt of 68,000 Georgians, helping small businesses stay alive, making sure they had the financing they needed, and putting money into the pockets of families, trying my best to make sure that every Georgian had access and opportunity. I was raised that when you don't get what you want, you don't give up. You try again. You try because it's how things get better. It's how the world moves forward. I don't quit because Georgians deserve leadership, and that's what a leader does. That's the job of governor. I want one Georgia where everyone has the opportunity to rise together and everyone has the opportunity to thrive. And now, let's get the job done.
I feel like it's my comeback. I do. And I'm grateful that I came back through Celie. I played Celie on Broadway twice. And I was young. I was like my life was all over the place. So I felt like I was carrying her cross and Celie's cross at the same time, and that was heavy. Playing it now, being married, having more children, adding a dog to the equation, and 2 grandbabies, I see everything totally different.
10 years, whenever I look back, do I want to have any regrets? Do I want to be watching, say, Worlds or Paris on the TV and be like, wow, if I would have just gone into the gym and just put a little bit of effort in? I will always get to do whatever I want to do after my career is over, but I won't be able to do my career forever. We've realized along this journey that I can keep doing this and I can keep improving. I have expectations, but I won't be let down if I don't achieve something. So I think this is almost the better way to go. And I like to plan out everything. I like to know everything. Like even my husband will tell you, like, Simone, just calm down. You don't have to pack for this, this, and this. Just go with the flow. And I'm not that type of person, but this year has kind of been like that. I've just tried to go along with the flow just so I enjoy the journey. So if I look back in 10 years, I could be like, wow, that year I really had a good time, I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to compete again because there was multiple times this year where I was in the gym and I was like, you know what, I'm actually terrified of this full-in. Like, I'm not doing it again, never going to do it. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to come back another day. The girls on the team really helped me with that because they were like, no, Simone, just come in, like, come on. And I'm like, okay, you're right. I can't give up now because then I'll forever be afraid of it. I at least knew that if I were to walk away from the sport, I could come in the gym and at least do a full-in, a double-double, a triple-double, and I'd be good. And I feel like right now, if I walk away, I know that I can do that, so that helps me. I think what success means to me is a little bit different than before. Before, everybody defined success for me, even if I had my own narrative that I wanted. So now it's just like showing up, having fun out there, and whatever happens, happens.
It's a long time coming. No, the God that I serve, everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So when I stand here today
as your world champion, that's because now was the time for it to happen. Now was the most impactful it would be, the most powerful it would be, and the most sincere it would be. So as I stand here today, I understand the influence that I have. I understand the responsibility that I have to USATF as a top female USA athlete, and to my country, and to my Black family, to my beautiful women, to everybody that's sick and has been misunderstood for trying to be their best selves and not being put into a category, because in track and field, they put you into a bubble for success. And I feel like I've shown that as long as you're yourself, you work hard, you can display whatever it is that is you and still get the job done.
As I give myself 5 fails a day, which means, but until I fail the 6th time, it's not a bad day. Because what would happen is I would fail the first time in a day, shut down, and not do anything the rest of the day. And what was I supposed to do that day? And who was it supposed to be for? Right? So it doesn't mean I don't get concerned or mad when a failure happens. I don't let it define my day. So that threshold for failure, by the way, which is realistic as hell, because I don't know who's been able to live without failure. Right? So it's actually an injustice that we've existed believing that failure is going to kill us. Make a threshold for it, -5. And then here's what happens. Because I don't stop because a fail happened, even if I'm pissed, I'm still pissed and figuring out the rest of the day. I have accidentally become an expert in failure recovery. I get up faster than anybody else. I bounce back faster than anybody else. So now I actually have a refined weapon on failure recovery that helps me win the race.
Do you know who I am? I am a child of the Most High God, and He has kept me alive so that I can be a testimony to everyone attached to me that, girl, you can get up again. Girl, addiction can't have you. Girl, divorce gotta let you go. Girl, get up. Girl, get up. Girl, get up. Girl, get up again. Girl, depression gotta let you go. Girl, anxiety has to lose its hold. Girl, get up. I'm begging for you to get up. I'm pleading for you to get up. My daughter needs to see you get up. My sister needs to see you get up. My generation needs to see a woman get up again.
I love all the sisters that were involved in my virtual sister circle. Fantasia Barrino Taylor. Oh my God, I love her. Oh my Lord. Oh, how I love her. Fantasia's experience resonated with me so much. And the timing of her reinventing herself for the color purple and watching her interviews as she talked about her past and it's how she spoke about it with such love and respect, and with an understanding that she's a much stronger person because of those setbacks. It was Fantasia's story, and as well as all the other women. It was their experiences that allowed me to give myself permission to design my own comeback, built on my own terms. And so I decided that having lost my sister, having almost lost my mind, having lost almost everything that mattered to me, that when I decided to come back, I wanted to make sure that I brought other folks with me. I wanted to use my experience as a learning opportunity to make sure that other people have a blueprint on how they can make their comebacks. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. In this second season, the comeback season, I am looking forward to bringing in a group of leaders, educators, whoever is willing to tell their story about their setbacks and how those setbacks were a launching pad for a comeback like no other. And I really hope that each and every one of you will go along on this ride with me. And as is my signature, there will be lots of laughter. I'm sure there will be a number of cough laughs from me because, I'm notorious for that. So there will be laughter. There will be learning. I am an educator after all. And in addition to all of that, there will be love. And I sincerely hope you feel that love as you go through this season with us. Okay, so that's really about it. I just wanted to make sure that I gave you all an introduction into season 2. I hope that you all are coming back, all 7 of you, I think. I think I only have 7 people right now, but that's okay. I hope you 7 rock with me the entire season. And for any new viewers or listeners, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Kecia Brown, and it's time for our comeback. And I'm also inviting each and every one of you to be a part of envisioning what this comeback season looks like. Speaking of envisioning, I am in the process of releasing my very first poetry album. Oh, I got a poetry album. The nerve. Well, I mean, if you're going to come back, you better come back big. The first single from the album that I'm releasing is called Envisioning Mantra, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps to bring some calm into your environments, especially with so much going on in the world, and I'm sure in your personal lives. And for those of you who are experiencing a setback season, just know that your comeback is going to be fire. Again, I look forward to being a learner right along with you. Let's get ready for our comeback, y'all. Oh, and your comeback being fire is so much more than a metaphor. See you soon.